Casey Grim.
And I'm Adam McLaughlin.
And we're a couple of nerds.
Sorry.
Oops. We got the camera through and you're all quiet. Give me a break.
I don't plan on not doing trivia shows in the future.
Forever. I love them.
We were two creative people who liked to produce stuff.
If you look up a couple of nerds with no 3 for an E, there's like 400 different attempts at making nerdy couple content. And I'm just like, one of you has to make it. Okay. Thank you. That's helpful. I am super tired. I like how you're doing like this, like we're about to go into a brawl thing when you know I could kick your ass.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Alrighty. 3, 2, 1.
It's time for another show.
Spiders on the walls.
Fire.
Down.
Oh my god. The studio is in chaos. Welcome to A Couple of Nerds.
Yes, we are a couple of nerds. My name is Casey Grim.
And I'm still Adam McLaughlin.
That's still who he is.
And it's time for some trivia. Boom. All these noises. We should edit them out.
We should, but it's, I feel safer when I make a noise-filled void.
You gotta fill the void, or else Dad's gonna know that something's up, right?
And then they're gonna be mad
That's how
because
you do
it's
it.
your job to take care of their
You gotta take care of your parents.
Oh, man, childhood, am I right?
So many stars.
We're still alive!
My dad had a hot tub.
Dude, don't panic. There's literally somebody watching us right now.
Oh, shit.
Hi!
They don't know.
I don't think they know what we do.
Do they even know who we are?
Who are we?
We should introduce
Let's
ourselves.
tell them so we can find out as well. Well, I want to hear your origin story first. I just think it's so riveting.
It's so riveting.
So spicy.
Yeah.
So exotic. From where was it? You're from Cuba?
I'm from Cuba.
Okay.
But not the island. I'm from a small town in western New York called Cuba, New York. Everybody always fantasized about going to California. That was the ultimate goal of like every single person that I knew growing up. Nobody knew why.
The 90s.
There would be surfing and women. And then I moved, I got really high and I watched The Simpsons and Conan O'Brien was on the commentary and he said, if you want to get into comedy, writing, because I always wanted to write, you need to do stand-up comedy. And so I moved to San Francisco and I started working at the comedy college. I was teaching classes and then I ended up developing my own comedy theory and doing one-on-one classes and then doing a lot of ghostwriting for people.
Yep.
So that's like how I started. And then Casey.
I was born in Phoenix, Arizona. And then, like, 10 minutes later, my mom was like, we're moving to Australia.
It was 3 months.
Something like that. I was pretty young, and then we moved to California. I went to the comedy college, and I remember seeing you the first day I was there. I remember walking by your cubicle and seeing your very furrowed brow as you were reading, I believe, yeah. And I remember thinking, I'm gonna have sex with you.
See, and that to me is that's the most unbelievable part of any story that we have is that you would see me probably with my gut hanging out, reading a comic book with my Dr. Mario controller just right here.
You hit all of my requirements, which was what I like: brown hair, brown eyes, and a flannel shirt, and reading a comic. And also just generally annoyed.
So
all
this
of that.
is a really high bar, right? It's a really so basically what you're telling is
what are you
any
complaining
person.
about?
Well, it just doesn't make me feel so special. It's just like brown hair.
This was the
brown
day I
eyebrows,
met you.
And
Oh my God! Did you say things to me? I forget that part.
I did
was
say
I
things.
getting you to know you as a? No,
I said things. I said, "Hey, I'm Adam."
That's what you said, and you said it to the entire class. It was not about.
I had to go up.
Look at me because you thought I was a teenager.
That is 100% true. I got the vibe that a lot of people thought I was with you because you were 10 years younger.
Yeah.
Which is totally the opposite.
No.
Because Like, first off,
Very upset.
when you first showed up, I'm like, stay away from that chick with the big eyes. That child looks like she might want to have sex with me. So I'm never getting near this child. And so I didn't until one day I saw you drinking wine, and I'm like, oh, well, she must at least be 21. And then I heard that you were 22, and then I'm like, oh, well, that's fine. I finally started to notice that even when my friends would go to a different place, you would stay next to me. And so finally, drinking a drink at this bar, I'm just like, what's the deal with you? Why are you hanging out with me? Why are you here? And then you were like, I'm trying to f*** you. It's what you said, I'm trying to f*** you, Adam. To which I was like, oh.
And then you were such a weird dork.
Feel muscle, yeah.
He made
and
me
she did.
feel
And I got
muscle,
banged,
and
so.
I just... And for the record, we did not have sex that night, and I was deeply reconsidering my proposition. No, I did not. I was very over it at that moment. I was like, wait, you were so funny and cool, and now you're a complete f***ing weirdo.
That's what it's about. It's an illusion. It's an illusion. I mean, come on.
The other night I'm watching TV, right? And a Captain Crunch commercial came on. And I was psyched. I was like, yeah, motherfuckers, Captain Crunch is in the house. And whatever, I was high and hungry. The point is, I was excited. I was excited for Captain Crunch. And then they ruined it for me. All right? Because halfway through that commercial, Captain Crunch starts rapping. I'm sorry, but when would an elderly 18th century naval captain say things like, pimp smack your breakfast with 11 essential vitamins? Because waffles is for bitches, yo. It's like, it's out of character.
As far as nerd comedy goes, that was the central theme of all of my stand-up.
Well, you were into escapism.
I was into escapism. I would try and link it to kind of my overall thoughts in the world and political things, like, you know.
I love the arguments against the legalization of marijuana. I love them because they're all just stupid arguments, like marijuana stifles creativity. Stifles creativity. Bull crap. All right? Because I'm more creative when I'm on marijuana. Like, I would have never known that you can use Pop-Tarts as a bread substitute. And I'm going to tell you this. If you haven't tried a hot ham and cheese on 2 strawberry Pop-Tarts, you're not living.
In comedy, it's very difficult to get your foot in the door.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I did performances at the Punchline, and I did performances at Cobb's, but trying to get like a week as an opener or a middle was really hard.
You would network.
Well, yeah, and then when I would try to network,
It was terrible.
It was terrible. And when I would go up to the bookers and I'd be like, yo, okay, I just did a set. I killed the room. Like, everybody else has been dying tonight. I brought it. I brought the energy back. You know, hey, you want to talk about week? And then I'd usually hear something like, we have a lot of fat, white, nerdy comedian men.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, well, I can't
do anything
about
about
that.
And I had the opposite problem where, like, I was able to hype things up, but I get really bored of myself talking.
Yeah, you wouldn't do the same set twice.
I can't. I want to die. I want to die doing the same
Which
thing
is a
twice.
problem.
It's such a big problem. It's
Because
super
that's kind of
bad.
the whole-
The opposite of what you're doing. Like, stand-up is a craft, and it takes work and commitment that I just did not have in me.
Let me do an impression of Hillary Duff for you before I go, okay? This is Hillary Duff acting. I'm sad. I'm angry. I'm stressed. I'm a dolphin. She's a f***ing dolphin. I'm the dolphin in the movies. All right, that's it. That's my time.
It was like we both were absolute shit at stand-up in totally different
Totally
ways.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of romantic.
Okay, so who's first? Oh, there we go. All right.
I'm trying to stalk the girl that lives across the street from me.
Okay, that's a classic cross the street Pete.
I had started doing YouTube videos a lot because, like I said, I wanted to write.
Yeah.
And Kelly McCarron was a friend of mine. Yeah, I think the first project we worked on together was a thing called the Fat Pack.
Oh, that was so fun. Yes,
The
I
Fat
remember
Pack was
that.
fun.
Here we are. The moment of truth.
So the idea was Ryan Cronin was concerned that there were too many fat comedians. The joke being Ryan Cronin's also fat. And so he wanted to do something about it. So he got a group of the fattest comedians he could find. I'm one of them. And together we were going to have a reality show competition to lose the most weight. And that was one of the first things that I was doing on YouTube. But yeah, Kelly McCarron was doing it with me. I still have vivid memories of playing catch the bacon with her in the pool, where we used real bacon and we'd have to swing for it. And Kelly totally tried to. She ate that chlorinated bacon.
Have a girl, dude.
Kelly
That's
McCarron.
commitment.
Kelly McCarron will do what it takes to make a funny shot.
Welcome, class. My name is Mr. Phineas Smith, and I have decades of stalking experience.
Ryan Cronin.
I love Ryan Cronin. He's a great guy. I remember his stand-up comedy bits very well.
Oh, his impressions just.
I can't listen to Michael McDonald
Nope.
without
I keep forgetting
what you want me to be.
every single time.
Or Michael McDonald if he was a waiter.
At least the McDonald's land characters make some form of sense. I mean, they're clearly assigned to a menu item, right? Mayor McCheese, cheeseburgers, McNugget kids, McNuggets, Grimace, tumors. It all makes sense. It's tied together.
He's so freaking funny. He has so much range.
Dude, if you ever have a project
Ryan Cronin.
and Ryan Cronin's available, you should get Ryan Cronin. He will always elevate it.
Something that stood out about Ryan is his stage work. When he did the puppet shows that were live,
You know, I blame those new filters. Who wants to smoke something you can't taste? That's like having sex with a condom. According to an article in Redbook.
I am pretty good with the puppets, but I think it's because, like, when I was a kid, I was obsessed with Jim Henson, and I had a puppet. And so, like, I did what I do. I hyper-focused and figured out why the mouths work and how to do it. So for Animal Traps, what you need to understand is, I had a large apartment in San Francisco, and one entire room, which is a very large room, is absolute chaos with PVC piping and a set. And it's covered in puppets. There's 10 TVs because I use them for monitors. And it's just, and there's puppet fabric everywhere. It's absolute chaos.
My name's Talking Tina, and I think you have some unresolved issues with your son.
Shut up.
both of you were so amazing at bringing your puppets to life and just making it so easy for me to focus on my interactions with the puppets. And I think that's a really incredible skill to like give credit to or recognize, but it's something that you and Ryan are just really amazing at.
Joan Nguyen, a really good friend of mine.
Eyes like an oasis.
We did a lot of running shows together.
Nightlife on Mars.
Nightlife on Mars, the big weekly show that we'd have in the basement of Murphy's Pub. We spent so many nights just at the comedy college, just in the classroom, getting drunk in the middle of the night after all of the shows, talking about our plans for what we wanted to do with comedy. Jeff and I met while I was doing comedy at the comedy college, and he's a huge nerd. Like, all of his shit was about being a nerd. And so he wanted to do a nerdy podcast. And I didn't even know what podcasts were when he wanted to do it, but he told me he wanted to just hang out at his house and talk about video games and comic books. To which I was like, oh, okay, I can do that.
Look, it's a sky cutter.
It just kind of spiraled more and more nerdy until finally all the content was nerdy and we were going to Comic-Cons every year.
Well, and you guys were getting shared by like Vsauce, you know, like other nerd-centric things promoting you guys as nerd-centric.
Yeah, and of course, while all of this is happening, you have to also understand, I'm absolutely oblivious to the fact that all of this is happening. I'm in a perpetual state of arrested development and escapism. So I'm just living 1 second to 1 second. Like, I'm like, oh, we went to Comic-Con, that was fun.
Yeah.
Not really like putting together like, oh, I should be working at networking.
Yeah, well, and you never even looked at the YouTube channel you were on. You never even saw any of the content you did.
I don't look at our content.
Unless you make it.
I edit it together, I make it, I never look at it again after it's done.
Adam, look at the kitty.
Yeah, I'm just doing some
Adam,
work.
hi, Dad.
Hi, your claws are sharp. Thank you.
Do you love her?
Yes.
Why do you have to yell at me like that?
Another lonely night on RedTube.
I think most of the Couple of Nerds stuff, it mostly just started because we were two creative people in love and really high.
And that was when we were like, well, we should just make videos of it.
Hey, honey, guess what? The rings came in the mail.
It's our anniversary today.
You know, a lot of people ask me, Adam, how did you manage to score such a hot piece of ash? What do you mean you ate the whole thing? Getting pizza sauce.
Adam, I want to have sex now. It's been a week. Die!
What? We got a couple minutes before we have to leave.
Want to smoke a joint?
Yes.
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 Go now, faster. Move.
This movie's gonna be so
Can
good.
we look at the wedding rings again?
I'm Batman.
What the hell are you doing?
I'm Batman.
You're an asshole. God.
I think a lot of people were like, Adam's abandoning other projects to work on this one, where it's like, no, Adam's a homebody who has a very difficult time connecting with people who aren't in the room with him.
In reality, I think we always saw ourselves as ideally becoming a network of different comedians.
Are you tired of being fat? Stop it!
Joe Gorman, God, he's just me as a man. I love him.
That sounds sexy. You sound sexy. No, you sound sexy. No, you sound sexy.
How are you gonna have an intervention for me when you're all drunk?
Adam, I'm high on life.
Ken Townsend and I got really close at the comedy college. He was just so fun to have in videos. He was willing to do anything. He was willing to be anywhere.
Who's ready for some sex on the bitch?
Ooh, I am.
Honey, you remember my boss, Mr. Townsend. Mr. Townsend, my wife's tits.
I think it started to come together when we started doing couples talk.
You farted so loud today.
I did.
It was
This morning.
awesome.
Here's the deal, Casey. Couples, they gotta work together. We need chore lists.
Take out the trash.
Take out the trash. There you go. I'd like to travel. Where would I not want to live?
Yes, turd.
Tetris.
I think the cave should be a sex dungeon.
Batman wouldn't have sex in the Batcave.
Well, then why are you wearing the suit?
To fight crime. Pay the bills.
Cool. I like having complete control of the money.
You just pay the bills, you take care of the bills. I'm gonna stay home, I'm not gonna work, because the bills aren't really my deal.
Wait.
You should have made that your first one.
Go yourself once a day. You f***ing asshole!
No, stop!
So, would you want to hire someone to make little mystery crimes for you to solve at the house? Like a butler that comes running in every day to the Batcave. Mr. McLaughlin, the raspberries are missing from the raspberry bush. This is bullshit.
Look, so far, you have to pay the bills. Me, I have to take out the trash and masturbate once a day, alright? We both have to make sacrifices and compromise. That's what a relationship's about.
We knew we wanted to make stuff right away because that's all
we wanted to do.
Well, and that's all I've been doing for 10 years. And so we started actually talking about how to actually market ourselves became a big part of the conversation because Casey's smart and she knows that you need to market yourself online. Red Scott!
Bless Red Scott, dude.
Whenever somebody says Red Scott, I pictured him standing on that chair with the camera looking down and just saying, Adam, the photos look great, but if you could just tuck your balls between your legs a little more. I'm like, man, that was an
shot,
embarrassing day.
That was when I knew how much you loved me.
That's when I knew I was
willing.
lit. The Flying Pig was a place that was a block away from where we lived in San Francisco.
And we used to do shows.
And we used to do shows there. And one day they told us they wanted to do a trivia show. And so we decided, okay, we'll do your trivia show. Why not? It's a block away and we'll get free food.
You see, I'm going to give you the name of a mainstream movie or TV, and you have to figure out what the name of the porno is. I know for sure, because I do a lot of research.
And then somebody from another bar saw that and wanted us, so we started doing
Rockfire
and then Ocean View. And then Ocean View blew up. And then we just started booking gig after gig after gig.
We paid off all of our debt. For a while we weren't in debt.
Until a week later when the entire country, 2 days later, the entire country got,
and then all of a sudden everyone's working for now.
Everybody works from home. Our trivia
was over.
Trivia was over.
Other than his
all we had was my income, and so you can now live in California with 3 people and 1 income. And then we decided to move to Buffalo.
Yep.
I love it here, because this is the area that I grew up in.
Buffalo's awesome. I wanted to live here when we first flew in 2012. I remember looking at you and being like, why did we leave?
After a year here, the first place that we got a gig was the Spotted Octopus.
Amazing place.
The people who owned the place, they had an understanding right away.
Uh-oh, guys.
It's trivia night with a couple of nerds. I can't believe how many of you wanted to lose. That's crazy. All right.
I enjoy the trivia shows.
Oh, yeah.
To me, they scratch the itch of performing. You know, a big problem with stand-up comedy is you have to create the illusion of a conversation, and you don't really interact with the crowd.
Funny answers get you points. Stupid answers get you points. Doodles get you points. Pretty much whatever I feel like gets you points. Wearing our shirt gets you points. Hugging a friend gets you points. Yeah.
We've come to realize that the pleasure we take out of doing it trivia style, which is getting to let other people make jokes and have fun and be involved, to learn how funny and creative people are. And that, I think, is what sums up Buffalo. They respect hard work and they don't diminish it.
They like the show.
Okay, Nickelodeon, why is it better than Cartoon Network? Who created SpongeBob SquarePants, you dumb bitch? It was Nickelodeon. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Adam.
Now here's the deal, I don't need to list off a bunch of we've all watched TV. You know that the cartoons on the Cartoon Network are superior. So I'm not even gonna make that. Oh, also, I'll swim.
Being in Buffalo, figuring out that I'm actually happy, having a kid, being in a healthy relationship.
And being loved by a community.
That's what entertainment used to be. I don't need to have the success that I'm kind of told is success.
That's been us. We're a couple of nerds.
What a wonderful podcast. Just getting really chippy deep.
Fun and so relatable. All right, well, I'm still Casey Grim.
And I'm still stuck here with her.
And that was us. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm pitching fits and breaking shit with ninja kicks and hand fists, blood and spit. I'm finally loose. I chew through my noose. I'm on the run. They're on the chase. Monsters, helicopters, tanks, crossing borders, state to state. Yeah, okay, I need a break. Hey, say I got some family outside Paducah, and family, what I really need is a bazooka. I done run out of beer already. Used up my wish. My lover, she don't love me, and my car's on the fritz. My head's a mess, my home's a wreck, but that's just how it is when you got 99 problems and they're all a fucking bitch. Go! Got 99 problems.
You're hotter than Ryan Cronin.
He's just not wearing a tight enough top.
Yeah.
Nostalgia.